Today we are talking about sex, but not that aspect of sex that you are thinking. We are talking about something really sensitive and serious when it comes to sex. Sex is not everything in a relationship. It's just a minute part or a minute element in a relationship. As much as it is a small element, it plays a major role in a relationship, and it's kind of affects every aspect of the relationship. Today we want to ask whether we can have a long-lasting relationship without sex. You know, sex is a way that we communicate mentally and emotionally. It's a way that we create an invisible bond in a relationship, and so that goes a long way to tell us how important sex is. But when for some reasons one person is not willing to have sex, or one person, like, you know, when you want to give sex and the opportunity is not there for you to give it, or you want to have it and the opportunity is not there for you to have it, it becomes really something, I don't know the adjective to use. And so we want to talk about whether we can have a lasting relationship with or without sex. Let me state that in a relationship, ideally, morally and religiously, we should not have sex when we are dating and courting. It's a special thing that God really did for married people. So but you know, we are in the 21st century. We've changed everything. About 90% of people are doing it, and so it's a subject that we cannot ignore. Okay. I would also like to state that when there is the consensus, when both mutually agree that you don't want to have sex, of course you can have a lasting relationship. But when one person wants it and the other person doesn't want it, can it help the relationship? That's what we are talking about today. My name is Nanama, and let's get talking. So there are various reasons why somebody or an individual would not have that sexual drive and passion. It could be physical. Let's say you are ill, or you're on some medication, or you had an accident, and for that matter you have some health issues or sexual or what do they call this thing? Erectile dysfunction, something. I mean, these are the physical reasons which should be really understandable when one person is going through these physical challenges. You can excuse yourself from partaking in sexual activities. And there could be psychological reasons, like you're depressed, you are lonely, or you are just emotionally down about it, and for that reasons you don't want to have sex, or you don't want to partake in the act. And there could be other reasons, like say you lost attraction for your partner. Maybe she gained weight, maybe he or she is not attractive as they used to be, or maybe there's an unsolved problem, maybe there's an issue that hasn't been spoken about. These are some reasons why one party may not be interested in sexual activities. Okay, we want to tackle some solutions as to how we can help ourselves when we one person wants it and the other person doesn't, and otherwise. Okay, so first of all, the best way to deal with everything is to talk about it. Talking about sexuality can be very sensitive sometimes, especially when it's a woman to a man. You know, sometimes men, their ego and their pride will not just allow them to accept some of these things. So when you try to tell a man that maybe because of X reasons, I'm not feeling as good as I used to, sometimes they get hurt and they might even just shut you down in a way to protect their ego. Okay, so first of all, I would say that we have to talk about these things. These are important issues that when you're in a relationship and you want it and you're not getting when you want sex and you're not getting it, you should be able to talk about it. Okay, sometimes I've heard ladies say that if he loves me, he will know how I want it, or if he loves me, he will know what I want. No man is a soothsayer. No man is a a magician that he can know whether what he's giving you, you want it or you don't want it. It's like going to a barbering shop or a salon. You just go and sit down, and then you expect that because this is a professional hairdresser or barber, he should be able to give me a good cut or should be able to give me a good hairstyle. If you don't tell the person what you want, how do you expect to get what you want? So we have to talk about it. Okay. Also, you can seek help, therapy, counseling. You know, you can talk to a professional about it, about whatever is discouraging you or whatever is stopping you from enjoying it or whatever. You can speak to a professional about it. You can have therapy and counseling sessions. I mean, if your husband, if your boyfriend doesn't want to come or if your girlfriend doesn't want to come, you can find a way, you know, nice way to get her to come for your a therapy session or for counseling session and talk about it. When you decide not to talk about it or you decide to seek help, that is when some people start to develop some attitude and some things to satisfy themselves, like masturbation, which is really bad. Like, you know, some people talk about self-love to the extent that they want to self-love themselves when it comes to sex, but there are a lot of, I do not want to go into the topic of masturbation, but there are a lot of reasons why masturbation is not a good thing to do. So people end up masturbating, some end up getting an extra lover to satisfy him or her sexually. And you know, there are consequences to that action as well. And so sometimes you can change your environment. You can travel, go to a new place, read books, especially those pictorial ones, those books that it's not just about reading, but there are a lot of sexual pictures to tickle some fantasies in you. Sometimes you and your partner can actually talk about your fantasies. You can even role play. I mean, there are so many exciting things that can rekindle that sexual fire in you. If you don't admit it, then all these solutions becomes waste. Okay, so of course, sex is not everything, as I mentioned earlier. There are some people that just kiss and hug and they are fine. That is what they want to do. And abstinence is always the best. But if you can't abstain and you feel your partner is not giving you what you want, talk about it. Okay, so I'm not talking about Mama Zimbi. So I'm not talking about sexual styles and all that. I just want us to talk about this and put the question out there to you as well. Do you think that we can have a long-lasting relationship without sex? That's the best thing, but since we are not practicing it, let me know what you think. Okay, drop your comments, like the page, invite your friends to like it as well, and special shout outs to Albert and Kish. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye.